Thank you, Cher. Wonderful presentation. Just to let you again, we are neutral. We don't expect you guys to be neutral in these races. Pick a candidate if you want to work for them, contribute to them. It could be Cher, it could be Ken. We're indifferent to that, but we do want people involved. That's really what we're about, is getting people involved. So if you're made up your mind, support that candidate, whomever it is. Our next speaker is our keynote speaker, Wayne Hammond, who is on our executive committee. And you might want to sit down for a minute because I'm going to be introducing you. Don't get too eager here, Wayne. I first met Wayne September 12th, 2009, as we were loading buses to the first 9/12 rally in Washington, D.C. Never met him before. I was a little concerned. He was coming at me with 2 canes, not the fastest mover. He has had cerebral palsy. Makes life tough, but if you talk to him, you'd never know that, because that's who he is. I was worried because I knew, I didn't know what kind of crowd we were. I knew it was going to be a big crowd, could get jostled. We were not stopping near the venue where the speeches were being made. We were about a mile away from where we got it. There were escalators, there were tram things to take, there was all kinds of obstacles. But he was there, and we were glad to have him, and he got on. I didn't state my concerns. I'll let him tell his part of the story. But you know what? He did it. He absolutely did it. And I'll let him tell you why he did it. It's really amazing. But I probably should not have worried about him, because I later heard a story from him that when he started walking at age 6, and he hasn't stopped since. At age 7, his parents were thinking of moving to a 2-story house with the bedrooms on the 2nd floor. They called the doctor and said, okay, we're interested in this house, but do you think it'd be okay for Wayne? And the doctor said, well, I don't know. You can just see what happens. So they went to the house here in Wilmington, and they were looking around the 1st floor, looking at the dining room, kitchen, all this stuff, and they wanted to show Wayne the 2nd floor. And they started looking around for little Wayne. Wayne, where are you? Where are you? Wayne! And they hear a voice from upstairs. I'm upstairs looking for my bedroom. And he's been doing that ever since. He has not let his difficulties ever stop him. He's had a life devoted really to service to other people. And if you ever talk to him, for even a brief moment, you will benefit. And you'll feel better about the world around you. You'll feel more optimistic. That is really what Wayne Hammond brings to this case, to the world. He also has a wicked sense of humor if you get to know him. Very quick-witted guy, very smart guy, but very wicked sense of humor. And the other thing that he has done is he's actually won awards for his volunteer service. He won a national award, Jefferson Volunteer Award, which he won the statewide contest, but he was also went on to D.C. as one of the winners. So he was really both a state and national winner as a volunteer. And he drove around people who were sick and were helping them to get to doctors' offices. And he's also a great rail splitter. He's the epitome of what we try to do here. One of the things we try to do, what we try to get more joy out of anything, is finding people who come here who want to be involved, who have perhaps not been involved, and help them get involved more. We want them to be volunteers, we want them to be candidates, we want them to contribute to candidates, we want them to be thinkers and doers, whatever they want to do, we want to make that happen. And Wayne Hammond has done that with the rail splitters. And that's one of the reasons why he's speaking tonight as part of our kind of ongoing 5th year anniversary. He has worked for so many candidates tirelessly. And he uses his own vehicle. It's getting wrapped with a vinyl wrap for the Kevin Wade campaign right now. He does those kinds of things all the time. And if you're a candidate and he's not busy with someone else's campaign, grab him. He's just great. And you'll be uplifted constantly if you do. That's who this man is. And, let me go back to the 9/12 event just briefly. There are a lot of fancy, famous people speaking that day. A lot of groups, organizations represented at poobahs in the kind of a Tea Party patriot world. No one spoke, no one made a greater message than Kevin Wayne Hammond did that day. Nobody. He made those steps with his 2 canes, diligently, with good humor and joy, and he brought beauty to that event. He was a star in my mind of that event, and he's certainly the greatest memory I have from that event. It was a very important event to me personally, and also for the Rail Splitters, was Wayne's contribution that day by showing you don't let, when the country's future is at stake, you step up, no matter how difficult it is. And that's what he did. Wayne, you're on. Mark, where are we going to put the... Can you hold this mic?
Sure thing. Yeah, I can hold it.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hold it. Yeah. All right. Okay. Am I being heard? Am I okay now? All right. Golly, George, I didn't know I did all that. All right. I didn't tell George about the canes because to me, the canes are just second nature. I don't give them any thought at all. I've had them more than 50 years. So, big deal. When I was growing up, my dad wouldn't let me give up. He pushed and pushed and pushed. And it's because of him and other people's tireless efforts and good works that I am as well off as I am today. And I want to pay that forward by living the best example that I can and helping as many people as I can. So I cannot just sit home. I listen to the news. Boy, how depressing that is. And I've got to do something about it. I cannot let the people who, I don't know why, but they must despise America the way it is. I cannot let them do that. Because America is the place that, it is the greatest place ever, and it is also the last place like it. We cannot let America go down. We each have to do whatever we can, however we can, whether it is that you volunteer for someone, whether you step up and answer the call, or whether you support by writing a check. That's very important because nothing happens without the money. Myself, I have time. And I'm more than happy to give it to whoever would request it. So if somebody has a need for something to be done, just let me know and I'll do it. I love that kind of stuff. I can remember, my dad telling me stories about how when he was in World War II and how the military got things done. My mom would tell me about what happened here at home, how people got involved in all kinds of drives for this and that. Most everyone had a victory garden, nylons. The ladies actually drew a line up the back of their leg to simulate a nylon. My goodness gracious. Where is that spirit today? Really, where is that spirit today? I just shake my head, and my mind is going a million miles a minute here, and I just can't get it all out, except that I consider it a privilege to do what I can. The good Lord put me here for a purpose. He hasn't revealed it yet, so I'm still finding my way. But hopefully one of these days I will know why I'm here. And I would like to read a paragraph from Mark Levin's Liberty and Tyranny that sums it up for me. One moment. This is actually the last paragraph in the book. It is from a speech by President Reagan. And President Reagan said, "Freedom is never more than one generation from extinction." He said, "We didn't give it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed to them to do the same. Or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in the United States, whose men were free." I want to always be free, and I want everyone after us to enjoy that freedom too. Please, don't give up. Please, don't give up, because we are not beaten until we do give up. So, to the candidates who have been here before, they didn't give up, thank you very much.